So shall we move into the Reckon sport? And
Most of it goes to the Pioneer. Is that a conflict with perhaps subject?
I got one of my kids that does books to concert bands, but they're actually more to read. Like they're actually finding funny for that. It's coming to board today,
so does anyone have any ones that they wish to flag for questions or increase or decrease? Let's go on the table now.
Flag the which ones? The basketball one.
Page number 2.
Here's the number, the page.
So that's just, yeah, I think they fixed page 2.
For an increase, Mel. For an increase. You've already got one.
We're just flagging.
Yeah, let's just flag it and then we'll come back for it. But I just wanted to get a list of the ones that people want to spend time on. So, yep. Anything else, Mel? Sarah? Mark? Yes.
Any other sport and rec items?
Sorry, aim number 11.
Aaron? Jake?
Nah.
Nope.
That was Kendrick head boxing, whichever one that was.
Yeah, and I just had 9. Okay. 3.
33, 11, 9, is that right?
It's just popped
And
out.
5.
And 5. Thank you.
Mel.
So, basically, I just want to, I think it would be good. I mean, if we're wanting to save a little bit of money to give to something else, I think this is something a little bit shaved off. I see it was 40,000 and 30. I know it's a growing sport, but, and I know they, that funding from the other sources, even to the 5 yeah, I think that one, if we wanted to reduce it, it could be reduced even to 40, or but if you have any comment on because that's quite a significant portion of what they've requested compared to other groups asking for sort of that higher amount. So yeah.
So yeah, Canterbury Basketball, they are an organisation that has been in a holding pattern for a number of years while we've been waiting for Parakiore. They need to invest in officials, especially to be able to grow their programs. Every year they cap the number of teams that they can take into their competitions. So I think they had about a quarter of the teams that they couldn't take this year because there just wasn't enough space. So the increase is really just to position them so that they are able to move and grow into that they're going to be able to facilitate within Parakiore.
It's 40,000 down from 42.
To chop it so savagely though, I mean
Savagely. 1,000.
2.
2.
Oh, okay. 2,000.
Yeah. Support that. It's grown 60% the sport since year 2000. The biggest growth is in 10 to 14-year-olds, and mostly young girls as well. So yeah. keep going. She's not very good. That's why she used to keep going.
So I think, I mean, it raises an interesting question, doesn't it? Like we've got these brand new facilities opening and instead of saving money, new modern facilities and ways to generate sustainable revenue, we've now got a massive increase in cost of these groups co-including the facilities. And I get that on more people. But I think especially for this year, like it does make sense. I guess what I'm just feeling is that once we've done that, then we've created this reliance on ongoing significant funding as they're in that building as well, which is not sustainable with our funding.
If we use the example of Hawaii, when we opened that, we did a similar thing with the likes of athletics in particular, because they were moving from grass tracks, being out of the city, using the track in Timaru, etc. And so we invested in them quite significantly in the first year. And now as an organisation, they're doing really well. Athletics is an amazing sport, and they're activating that facility probably more than what we expected that they would have. So the idea is that we're positioning these sports for success so that they can go and we will invest in them in that first period of time. Some of them it may take longer than a year, but for basketball, I think the potential for growth is so strong that they're going to become more sustainable.
And do we have any sense of the cost of using Parakarori? Like, are we just giving with one hand and taking with the other?
The fees and charges are aligned across our council facilities.
Right, so for a group like basketball, which is going to have significant growth, are they going to be hit with a lot of extra charges to go in there?
They'll be having to hire the extra space, but because they can facilitate more teams, then
They're not going to charge more because of Parakarori, is it? It's a proportional charge. It's the same as it is.
Yeah.
It's just going to be more people.
So the cost of hiring will be the same as Carl's. And yeah,
And cost of landing.
Yeah, I met with them recently and they're actually looking for national sponsorship. So they're pretty progressive in the way that they're sort of looking to become less reliant on council support.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I personally, I wouldn't support a reduction. Like I appreciate, but yeah, I mean, it's just my view that they have been doing an incredible job with what they've got. And they are one of the fastest growing, well, they've been one of the most popular sports for a number of years now, and really crying out for that extra indoor space. So
Can we leave debate to the debate part so we can get through them quick?
Sure.
We need to get it. Just need to make sure it is.
yeah, okay, can I rebox thing, Tim?
Yeah, just try not to get into debate, obviously, but $1,500, that's the number three. $1,500, it's, you know, from what they were asking, and it's kind of fulfilling those things that we really need done in those areas they're doing. It's not about kind of sitting in a ring and smacking each other. It's actually about exactly what they're saying, confidence, their self-belief. Some of those areas and some of those families, just goal setting, it's not taught in the family. So your thoughts?
I had a conversation with Canterbury Boxing. They want to invest in some uniforms, so they keep the uniforms and they lend them out to the participants. And they acknowledge that there is class 4 gaming funding that will fund uniforms. So if they didn't get full funding from council, that they would be able to go to other for that.
And do we have a liaison, and do they have an understanding of the Mayor's welfare fund as well for those families who are, you know, less better off than others to go there for support? So.
We've got quite a strong relationship with Canterbury Boxing, but I can certainly mention that one to them and just double check that it is on their radar.
Right, so thank you, that's good.
Are you happy with that response?
No, absolutely not, so thank you very much.
So 5 is probably similar response to the other one, number 2, was it? So this is move, helping them to move, but would we be anticipating a smaller application for next year?
Which one is this?
This is Canterbury West Coast Sports
West
Trust.
Coast, right.
Yes, so that is it's sort of a follow on from what we did with the COVID response for the regional sports organisations in partnership with Canterbury and Council. So this one is just, I guess, identifying that there's still quite a long way for some of our regional sports organisations to come. And it is a change in priority for Sport New Zealand funding into the regional sports trusts, which isn't so much around the capability and development of sports. If there's a shift in that, then that sort of would reduce the need for this funding as well. But it's acknowledging that our sports system is so reliant on our regional sports organisations to be able to keep it going.
Is this mainly for children?
So it's the Canterbury West Coast Sports Trust is Sport Canterbury,
Children,
which is
all sport.
yeah, so it's across all sports.
When you say the rata funding is pending, unconfirmed.
Yes.
At 100,000, how confident are you that they will?
I know that they're having significant conversations with Rata, and they've pitched this certainly to align with the priority populations that Rata now focuses on. So yeah, they have been relatively successful with Rata funding in the past, and I think they've got a relatively good relationship.
Okay. Thank you.
Look, can I just check on the, like, it's actually really unclear what we're funding. Like, are we funding an FTE? Are we funding rent? Are we funding a consultant?
Capability and
Like,
capacity
it's
building.
very
That's
vague.
the mobilisation of them.
It's that, but it's also strengthening the system of sport. So there's a whole lot of opportunities. So some of it's consultants, some of it is connections with the business community. It's trying to get the sporting organisations to a place where they are more sustainable because they've got support around HR, around a whole lot of
funding.
Yeah.
That's operational funding.
So we,
Sport Canterbury.
so it's sport, so we're basically paying the Sport Canterbury to employ someone to do this work, is that?
they would need. Yeah, it's general operational funding. Some of it will be consultants, some of it will be connections. Yeah, our sports services team will be working really closely with them around identifying the priorities for this.
All right. Do you, this is something government's cut funding to? Basically, that's what it kind of refers to in the matrix, that
I guess it's
Sport
a
New Zealand.
realignment of funding.
Sport Canterbury to provide sport development support. So do we know how much funding they've lost from central government?
It's been over a period of time, but it has reduced.
Can we add this one to the list and just get some more details about what's happened? But
So, sorry, when you mean more detail?
like, they used to get government funding to this level, they've lost X amount of
Yeah, I
government
don't know
funding.
that you're gonna be able to get that, time frame of this meeting.
No, not for the meeting, just like we've asked for it just to keep a record of where we've got organisations that have had government, like there used to be the Hillary
Yeah, okay.
Foundation, there used to be Sport Spark, these Sport.
Actually, that's
Changing landscape, we'll bring back information to us.
when the discussion comes from central government with regards to capping rates, this is really going to be important.
I think Dave and Jackie, next time we do a rec and sport update to council, we can bring back information around the general funding landscape. Okay.
Yep, Mel.
It's the West Coast and the title for the trust. So what's the organisation structure, and like, is it just that's the name of?
It's just the name. So they're a very broad organisation and they do go across to the West Coast down to South Canterbury. But this funding will be ring fenced just for regional sports organisations in Canterbury.
So if it's Canterbury, we talked to someone in Waimak about contributing as well.
The Sport Canterbury have their relationships, I believe, with Selwyn and Waimakariri around contribution.
Yeah, but for specifically for this funding, the only other funding, it says it's 100K, there's nothing from someone in Waimak. And even if it's a regional, many of these will be Canterbury X, Canterbury Z organisations. So that's something we can just ask if they've at least.
We can
applied.
ask if they've had conversations with those councils.
Yeah. Yeah, again, I mean, I know this council is well aware of it, but this goes back to we're supposed to pick up everything regionally and our neighbours don't want to contribute. And we, you know, we fund the organisations.
But a Christchurch partnership has only been.
Okay,
So,
cool.
after this, we've got a drop-in session on the local government bill for the system improvements bill. And part of that is talking about and what we fund. And I think keep our ears open for all these sorts of examples of things that we're picking up that would not be considered in the government's definition as our core business necessarily.
Yes, it's just.
Yeah, all these, so whose is it?
And maybe we also need to have a greater Christchurch or, you know, a mayoral forum discussion around funding regional organisations as well.
Something the mayoral forum could do.
Yeah, great. So move Ototahi, so this is one that I've raised. I just, hearing what you've said about groups moving into Palikori, this is one of the groups that I really want to succeed. I know that they've done a huge amount of work. They've been waiting patiently for, I mean, you know, this is probably the most overdue, over cost project in the city. So is it, I'm just surprised at the low quantum, and is there a reason why the quantum is so low to the other groups?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
I can fix that. With the ring fencing this year, it was quite tricky with groups who was delivering across two different spaces, so sport and art, and so Move made the decision to come into sport and rec. We in the arts sector also put forward a $10,000 recommendation, so in total it would be a $20,000 grant to Move. The advice we got was that wasn't possible just due to contractual kind of things with each ring fence and each unit. So what we've come to is this recommendation for 10,000 goes ahead. We will be discussing with Move the DRF after this to come in for the 10,000, which would take them to where they were last year.
Can I just move that we give them 20? Right, so I'll just put that on the table. Yeah, so.
As well, so
Oh, sorry, so additionally.
so they're straddling the
At the
two.
moment, they're currently scheduled for 20,000 from Christchurch, from this process. Is that correct?
No, there's one grant of 10,000 from sport. There is, you'll note when you get to arts that there is some money left over. It's intentionally left over so they can come back to the DRF to get the other 10.
So when we come to arts, we could actually allocate that to this.
It's just that you said there was some contractual issues.
It's internal contracts with us. I made that decision.
Happy to find the easiest way, but I guess the key signal is today, can we just allocate total of 20K, whatever's the easiest way to do that? So, okay, cool, thank you. Number of done.
It was the same thing. I just wanted to know a bit more of an explanation about the increase.
About that.
Why there's an increase from last time.
Okay, so again, these, it's an organisation moving into Parakiore. They haven't had a leader and or pulled since QE2. So the pressure for them needing to outsource resource is quite significant. Staff member, so it is sort of to go towards a role which will look at partnership and growing and support of swimming. Basic approach.
So just with these ones that haven't increased, if next time we're not going to give them so much because this is for the move, can that be clearly stated in the matrix for next year when we look at it? Because otherwise we'll be asking,
yeah,
why is there a big decrease? Because we'll have forgotten. So we'll be new people.
Yes, it'll look like a cut.
Yeah.
yes,
You're re-leveling.
so rationale around the change in.
But yeah,
And
it's
then
really
it's-
helpful to know,
Yep.
understand, and the relative amounts.
Especially if it's new council.
Anyone have anything?
We'll start that.
Public.
Come back to the.
No, we haven't.
Sorry, just before we move on.
Should we know it?
Oh, it's still the sports and rec.
Going back?
Close them with those.
Oh.
They need to debate.
Yeah. Sorry.
Giving out a hot seat. So no one-
Cool. Sorry, I have an eye online, so are you guys, will you pick up if there's a Richard? Well, welcome, Andre. Andre?
I think it's Andre.
Yeah, just wondering if you had any questions. We know you're a big sports fan.
I don't think you though.
Okay, cool. Sorry, there was just one final question that I had. And this was with the Dead End Derby. So this is the roller derby. And I know when we had the update from Whanganui, we thought everything was going really well. The roller derby, a couple of days later, that group actually folded. So, I'm just wondering if there's any support that we can give in that roller derby space. Just noting that obviously, yeah, that's quite a small quantum that will, but it's not a good patient. So I just wondered if you had any sort of feedback around what's happening in that space, and the support we can give, because it does cater to a group of people, a really good job reaching people to become active.
I'm the active communities manager in the region. Roller Derby have actually been quite independent and have been able to support themselves with their own programs. This was a mention for the their gear to increase their capacity for the tamariki and rangatahi that are coming through. So yeah, I don't have a strong relationship with them because they have been so independent.
If it's around development of an organisational structure, we can definitely offer support in that respect. So it's they're a group that we could reach out to sort of support that they need.
Okay. Yeah, it was okay. I mean, it was more just around the funding, but not funding the full amount, only funding 2,000.
What's this one? For equipment and gear, I felt there was probably other places for them to go to that I could support with instead of it coming from that.
Okay, so just be good to close off the rec. So the kind of way we want to do this is go through each category, have the vote on the recommendations, get that done, and then end up staff to go and do other stuff that they need to do. Doesn't keep them here all day waiting for the end. And I think it gives us a sense as we go through what we've got to work with. So based on the questions and the information and the issues that people have raised, I want to call for any amendments that people have. Okay. Who's got amendment? Can I just check? Yeah. So the only one that I've got is the move. So I see probably stuff advice on the best wording. Yeah. We've got a minute. I'm just giving staff a heads up on that, just to get this resolution to the bodies. So should we go to Mel, or you guys just?
It's for 40K instead of 42.
Okay, is there a,
Save some money somewhere else.
okay, is there a seconder for that? Up for debate, do you want to debate that? For the vote, hold on.
Aren't we doing one?
You will do one vote. I mean, there's
No,
no.
you need to, well, yeah.
This one's about to get through, so let's do this one, and then you can do what you want.
It's a whole list, you do one.
I mean, I just like, probably I'll just quickly say, I mean, I'm not supportive of reducing the funding to Canterbury basketball. For what I've seen, they do incredible work with a growing sport in a constrained space. And, you know, if we're going to take money off anything, I'd rather take it off the regional sports organisations to fund Canterbury basketball. That would just be my preference that people were concerned about the quantum of funding, but yeah, I won't support a reduction to care and basketball. So where I come from. Cool. I'll put that to the vote. All in favour of the amendment to reduce temporary basketball from 42,000 to 40,000, please say aye. Aye. All those against?
No.
No.
Lost.
Thanks.
Another one, you put through the 20 and we'll work it in the background.
Okay, so I'll move an amendment that to number. So I'll move the staff recommendations with the amendment of Otetahi. Oh, sorry, we'll do the amendment for amendment. Yeah. So I'll move Otetahi be increased to $20,000. Do I have a seconder?
Yeah.
Okay, Pauline, is there any debate on this? Anyone, oh, sorry, all in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone against? Any abstentions? Yeah, that carried. I think, although some people were quite quiet. But I think that's carried. Okay, cool. So now, yeah, so now we'll move the whole thing. Thoughts and rec.
Second.
Okay.
Oh, maybe Celeste.
So look, I'll just, yeah, thank you. I'll just open the debate and just, again, thanks staff for the work that you're doing with these groups. We can only imagine how excited and in anticipation of the new Metro Sports opening that these groups are feeling. And, you know, like it has been pretty hard on these groups to constantly have deadlines changed and opening dates changed, and it's been really hard, I think, for them to plan on what they're doing. But despite that, actually, we've got an incredible sports record in Canterbury and Christchurch, and so, you know, hats off to those groups for the endeavours that they've done in the meantime. But it will be an exciting year next year when Metro Sports opens, category opens, and it'll be really interesting to see how the groups cope with in that new environment and how successful they can be. I think you've heard the feedback from councillors around just the concern around the ongoing sustainability of that, but we accept, I think the majority of us accept that it's important that we do support these groups to go into this new space. And so yeah, just thank you for the work that you've done on that. And I think the other important point is to pick up what's happening with the central government funding and the regional funding as well. So we can do some on that. But with that being said, anyone else wish to debate?
It's only taken an extra 3 years to build the place, but I think we got to allow these groups, if it's going to take them a bit longer to kind of get back into the rhythm of the venue, that it may be some lag, if you like, with the funding to the next funding round. So you should be aware of that. Very clear to these groups. This is to get them set up in the new venue. Can't expect this kind of money to happen, but we've got to be reasonable. Them is yeah, it's been a long time coming, and yeah, they've been getting, yeah, so yeah, it's great. So thank you very much.
Okay, all in favour?
Aye.
Please say aye. Anyone against? Anyone abstentions? Declare that carried.
Yeah, cool.